Hello, A Day with Caleb. We are back with another Warner Brothers Discworld update video. I thought after the third update, and then I did little updates within a couple of videos. I thought that would nix it. I thought that would be it for the Warner Brothers Discworld, but Josh, my brother, did a 1 year video uh, update where he discovered some new information because damn fool Idealistic Crusader did another update video. So he did one, Josh. After some digging and pulling titles, he did an update video, and I used that knowledge. I didn't go through the entire collection again because it's even though at the time I was almost in the process of remodeling. Uh, if you haven't checked that video out, go out. I remodeled my whole room. It is fantastic. Love it. Been enjoying it. But I pulled. I was selective with what I pulled. Josh had a list. It wasn't crazy long this time, like the first time. But I pulled a few titles. Some titles that affected him did not affect me, like Superman Returns. Of course, I had full screen, widescreen. I think my full screen did not work, but my widescreen still worked. And I got the Blu-ray pack with Superman 1, 2, 3, and Superman Returns. Superman 4 I got later on Blu-ray. Anyway, we're getting off topic, but these are titles that were affected, and there was some that worked for me that didn't work for him. Oh, why am I blanking? There were two titles. One's about Jennifer Aniston. There's a ring and there's all this family drama. Why am I blanking on that? Then there's one, Lucky You, which worked for me. Why am I blanking on the Jennifer Aniston? Is it something Fools? I know there's a ring. Man, comment down below. My mind is not working right now. But anyway, there were a few titles that worked for me that didn't work for Josh. Go check out his video, and the response still from the first Warner Brothers Discworld, phenomenal. Actually, for a while it was my #1 viewed video on this channel, but it has since been surpassed by last year's Atlanta Comic-Con, which is crazy because usually my conventions do well, but not this well. It is climbed up the ranks. I think as of time of recording, it just passed 9.5 thousand, which is incredible. I think the Discworld is at 9, or right, almost at 9, like 8.9, 8.8. Anyway, these are titles that we pulled. I've already done a whole thing. Some were affected, some were not. We'll talk about that. I think we'll start with the ones that were affected. The number 23, Jim Carrey on DVD, did not work. I think it got to like 15 minutes left, 18 minutes left, which is usually around the time it skips or freezes. So I got it on Blu-ray, the uncut version. So this isn't a combo since the DVD doesn't work. I just got it on Blu-ray. That's really the only way you can watch it, unless there's a re-release DVD that I didn't see, but I opted to get the Blu-ray on this one. Then License to Wed, and I had been wanting to upgrade this for a while anyway. I had a printed case, so instead of getting another DVD that was messed up because of the code, I opted to get this on Blu-ray. This was in my 5 for 5 video. If you watch that, this eBay seller had buy 5 get 5 free. So it worked out to like two something, 3 something each for Blu-rays and a couple movie packs and stuff. So that was great. And speaking of the code, Josh goes in his 1 year update into depth about the code, but essentially you have a disc here. It wouldn't be on this one obviously, but kind of in the center hub there's a code, a little code that's hard to see. I don't have great eyesight, but it is very hard to see. Josh has pictures and stuff, so if you want more information on that, go check out his video on it. He goes into more depth. Mine's just kind of, what did I upgrade, what was affected kind of deal. But Take the Lead was affected in my collection. Antonio Banderas. And Save the Last Dance might have been a printed case, I'm not sure. But there was this double feature on eBay for pretty good. And you can always tell something that is not affected when it has this made in Mexico. This made in Mexico. That's a telltale sign of something is going to 100% work. So we got that in a cool double feature. Both movies about dance. Then the New World, not the New World Order. That was going to be the new Captain America movie, New World Order. And there was a ton of NWO references and all that. I love that, but then they changed it to Brave New World, which is good because I like the NWO, the New World Order. I didn't want that movie tainting the wrestling New World Order. But the New World, and this has several cuts of the film, written and directed by Terrence Malick. And this does have Colin Farrell and Christian Bale. It has both of them. Let's see. This is the Criterion release number 826. So it has the box. Then it has a nice little booklet where it has some pictures of the film, just talks about it. No autograph from the director, which some Criterions have, some don't. But that has kind of like this booklet fold out, some nice artwork there. But it has, let's see, the theatrical cut, the first cut, and those are kind of almost the same, except I think the theatrical is a little shorter than the first cut in some scenes. But the extended added probably 15 to 20 minutes, I think, of footage. And the start is different. The middle is kind of reworked. And I think the ending is the same, but it is definitely longer. So if you're going to experience the New World, this is a pretty cool way to do it because you essentially get 3 films that are integrally pretty much the same, but there are some nuances, especially in the extended cut, especially with the tribe. There's some dynamics that you don't really see a lot in the theatrical. So that is very cool. And got this at a pretty good deal also on eBay. All these were great deals. That's obviously why I went ahead with it, especially with McKay's. You know, I'm going to get a lot of trade-in. So I was kind of going to wait on these, most of them, to get trade-in credit, but these deals were too good to wait on in hopes they're there, and then you get there and they're not there. Especially some of this, like the Criterion, that might be there, that might not be. Number 23 might be there, but since it's Blu-ray, you know, it probably would be a little more pricey. Although I am using credit, so it's not as bad. But these I've been wanting to get for a long time, years. We'll start first with the Super Friends, the complete collection. This has every Super Friends season, and it does get tricky. There's a whole wiki page dedicated to the Super Friends timeline, because there's like Super Friends season 1, then there's some like sublet season that was before season 2, but they released season 2 as season 2, and then there's like the challenge of the Super Friends. There's a whole thing you had to decipher in order to get them all, and Josh got them all, but he, probably a year or so back, he traded them to me. I'm going to have to fix this. The artwork is annoying me right now. I'm going to have to fix that later, but instead of doing seasons or, you know, little sublet seasons, they went by year. In this collection, you can see they're color coordinated, and there's the year on top there. So where does it start? 60 something? Maybe it starts with 73. See, even on the back here, you can see there's 73, 78, 80 to 83, the Lost episodes, the all-new Super Friends Hour, Challenge of the Super Friends, the world's greatest superheroes, Super Friends, the legendary superpower show, the Superpowers Team Galactic Guardians. That is just way too confusing. You know, I don't know why they didn't just keep doing seasons, but I'm glad that it is pretty much organized in this set by year. So if you want to watch the first year, you can start there. If you want to see midway through, you can pull episodes from that year. So I think it's a great set. Don't love the stacked kind of format that they have, and these are getting more and more popular with shows now, but it's okay to navigate. But when you pull a disc from, like, say you want to get to the disc 2, disc 3 for 78, you have to pull 1, pull 2, pull 3 Or if you want to get to Challenge of the Super Friends 78, you would have to pull this, pull that, then get to it. It works, and it's better than having like 12 different releases. This is all in one super slim packaging, which I do like. You know, you're not watching it every day, at least I'm not. So when you pull it, you be careful of the disc. It's mint, obviously. I don't think this person even used it. He probably opened it, watched it a couple of times. But when this released, I saw it in Walmart, and that was right around the time Josh gave me those individual releases, but it was pricey. I think it was right around $80 at launch, and it did come down slightly over the year and a half that it's been out. Maybe a year, maybe a little over a year, but then Groove had it, I think, that Thanksgiving on sale for 60 or 55, right around there. I almost jumped at it then, but I got it for way under that. Well, not way, around 40. I think with tax and shipping it was like 42, 43, somewhere in that range. So that is not a bad deal. And since I had just tested all these Super Friends, nothing is corrupted as of time of recording, so those will be traded in, because I did test them. If any of them had disk rot issues, I would have obviously not traded them in. You know, that's my moral compass. Anything that doesn't work, I'm gonna, throw it away and upgrade. I'm not gonna trade it into a company that I do enjoy. I want them to succeed, so I'm not gonna give them something for credit that I know is not working. But as of now, all those do work. They do have the potential to not work with that code, but as of now, they all work, all tested, so I feel good about getting some of my money back that I bought that with. And then the first two seasons, according to Josh, were okay. Then kind of midway through his third season and fourth season, he had issues. And that is the OC, the seasons 1 through 4, but I got the complete series box set. But I did test all 4 seasons of mine, so I feel comfortable trading those in too. But I got this very cool box set, and this box set is very rare right now. When did this release? So this released 2013. So that's probably why it's kind of harder to find, because it's been out 12 years. That is crazy. Crazy to think about. So it was a little tricky to track down a complete series box set. There is one that's like sideways, like a book style, but looking at pictures, those discs look like the original run, so I think they pulled the box set disc and just put them in that book format, which I don't like the book format anyway. I have the Gilmore Girls and I think West Wing in those like flip books, and the disc gets scratched. I like this way better, so I patiently waited for this box set, and I believe I got this. No, I think I did get this on eBay. I was going to say McKay's, but I think I did get this on eBay, $30, and it goes for 75 to 80. So I was asking him about the disc, and I think maybe that's why some other people didn't bounce on that price. Were the disc? This packaging obviously is re-release packaging. The front artworks are like the original artworks, but you know, it doesn't have the boxes. These are re-release cases. But the disc, I didn't know if they were re-released disc or not. So he never responded, but for that price, I took a shot. I think he might have even sent a lower offer, but with taxes and shipping, I think it was right at 30. But actually, it's hard to see that code. 119, I think. But anyway, Josh looked at these. These are codes for Mexico. And I did go through and test them just because I was worried about that. Every disc I tested, it works great. And it was great to kind of sit and watch a couple episodes after testing. So that's great. And I love the box on this too. And I love that they're individual seasons in this box. I love that. If you want to pull season 1, you can pull it. If you want to pull season 3, you can pull it out of the box. But I love the kind of higher end box set that this was and is. And this image is from that season 3 artwork. But I love that they use that as a complete series box set. That is a very cool picture, and I think it fits for the complete series box set. So that is great. That was everything that was affected in my collection. I didn't dive too hard like Josh, but as of now, that's all that's affected. I think Dave talked about this a couple months ago, about the disc rot thing. I think I'm kind of on his wavelength. Over time, I eventually want to upgrade titles that are meaningful to me on Blu-ray and, you know, upgrade that way. There are times where Blu-ray discs do have rot, but it is very, very seldom. So, you know, I pulled titles that were on Josh's list and tested. Some worked, some did not. That's why we got these, but I didn't go too crazy pulling everything, because I pretty much pulled every Warner Brothers title I had. But there is a caveat to that. There are more than just Warner Brothers titles released from that plant. There were other companies that used that under the Warner Brothers umbrella. But anyway, if you want full details, go to Josh's 1-year anniversary disc rot video. Hope you enjoyed. I really do love this box set, the Super Friends, the Criterion. Comment down below your favorite thing. Were you at all confused with the Super Friends timeline, the different releases, you know, License to Wed on Blu-ray, Robin Williams, rest in peace. Number 23, like, subscribe, share with a movie lover. Until next time, go upgrade those affected titles and keep collecting.